Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatītam Gagana Sadrisham Tatvamasyādi Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatītam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasishtha, Nirvana Prakarana Purvardha, section 43 continues, but prior to that, a few stanzas to be completed. The context at this stage is Lord Shiva is imparting wisdom to sage Vasishtha. And this is being related by sage Vasishtha to Sri Rama. And now you are being related to it as well. This physical body is basically mental in nature. People see, rather create a difference between physical and mental. But this is an immature state of understanding, the kindergarten stage. As you begin to grow up without mind, how can you conceive of physical body? Very conceiving process is a mental process. Physicality is a projection of the mind. Simple illustration is your dream. Even in your dream, you are dealing with physical realities as well as sentimental aspects. But the physical realities of your dream are not real at all when you wake up. So, in various ways, try to understand that physicality is not real. Real is mentation, mental process. And if you go deeper, the mental process and all the projection of the mind has its basis in Brahman, the absolute self. The world process is a projection of the mind. So all the projection movements, they are based on the screen that allows the projections to play a real part. The screen remains the reality. In the same way, pure awareness, Brahman, is the reality behind all experiences led by your conditioned mind. The concept of physicality is superimposed on the subtle body. The subtle body consisting of the mind and subtle processes is a greater reality. But even the astral body or subtle body is superimposed upon the causal body. And the causal body in turn is superimposed on the self. That self is Brahman, the Absolute. This self is the reality of the three periods of time, past, present, and future, and is the sustenance of the three states of consciousness, waking, dream, and deep sleep. The vasanas, or subtle desires in the subconscious, are the cause of pain in life, root source of your pain. Pain you experience in the physical body first. But the source of your physical body, etc., it lies in your karmas. Karmas lie in your subconscious in the form of vasanas. Vasanas are rooted in samskaras that lie in your unconscious. And samskaras are based on ignorance, which is the root source of your unconscious. And when ignorance is removed, you are moving away from your unconscious to transcendental, superconscious state. If the content of a desire is known to be illusory, the desire will dissolve. Therefore, when the world is realized as an illusory modification of the Absolute, all the vasanas are dissolved, thus freeing the soul from all forms of pain. When the world is realized as an illusory modification of the Absolute, all the vasanas are dissolved. This is the highlight of the teachings of Advaita Vedanta. And the highlight is the world is like snake superimposed upon a rope. The world process is a snake. The reality behind the world process is Brahman. Brahman is a rope. Nothing underestimating. Simile. In other words, in the deepest state of wisdom, there is nothing but Brahman alone. Whoever bases his faith on egoism, the world process or a mirage is indeed. Whoever bases the faith on egoism and the world process is just like placing your faith in a mirage. Such a person is a dull-witted person. Shame on his intellect. People call themselves very intellectual, but try to see in a very profound way. Human brain is acting just like an iPad. And all experiences are the play of your iPad. But if you are really keen to know what is real, then you must go after the source of your iPad. Shame on his intellect. Expecting pleasure from the world is as ridiculous as attempting to satisfy thirst in a dream state in the waters of a mirage. It is as ridiculous as becoming rich on the basis of a treasure that is discovered in dream. You went to sleep and you found a spot, and it's a big treasure. And you spent a lot of time and struggle and dug out the treasure. And you see the treasure beyond measure. And you wake up and you start telling people, I found a treasure. It will be ridiculous. No matter whatever you experienced in your dream, that is not your reality. The whole world experience is a long dream. So you cannot stay relaxed with any experience. Every experience will pass on. It doesn't add to you in any way. You essentially is like the sun. And apparently, you are reflected sun, jiva. But jiva state is not your real state. So as a jiva, as an individual soul, led by your mind, whatever you develop, the notion, how wonderful you are, how rich you are, how powerful, popular, all that is a mental illusion. Nothing of the world can stay permanent. But you are essentially eternal. The spiritual teaching must be imparted to a qualified aspirant. However, these profound teachings will remain intellectual unless the aspirant is a qualified aspirant. But to be a qualified aspirant, one must be encouraged to pursue the path of integral yoga, a plan of integrating the personality. If personality is not integrated, or if your sadhana does not plan to integrate it, your progress will be delusional. You can gain a lot of siddhis and powers, but you have gained very little. The highest attainment is revelation of who am I? Aham Brahmasmi. Otherwise, these sublime teachings will be misunderstood and misinterpreted by those who lack subtlety of philosophical reasoning. Which father would promise his beautiful daughter in marriage to a handsome person encountered in his dream? Father having a good dream tells his daughter, I found the best match for you. So don't worry. Prepare. So it's ridiculous. Much in the same way, offering this transcendental knowledge of Brahman, to a dull-witted person. So when we are telling an unqualified person, forget about the world. From tomorrow you are liberated. Remember these great utterances. Prajnanam Brahma, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahma, Ayam Atma Brahma. And the person repeats it. Now you are realized. That's ridiculous. In the next section, 43 of Nirvana Prakarana Purvardha of Yoga Vasishtha. Now Lord Shiva, having completed this wisdom teaching, he disappeared. And Vasishtha continues to share this knowledge with Rama. So Vasishtha says to Rama, O Rama, thus have I heard from divine Shiva the most wonderful art of worshipping the self. I am fully acquainted with his divine worship. And now you too are enlightened about it. Just as water sustains liquidity, wind is characterized by movement. The ocean is inseparable from spaciousness. In the same way, the self is inseparable from his creation of this world process. Just like you and your dream world are one and the same. Similarly, Brahman and this entire world process is one and the same. I perform this divine worship at all times. And this understanding is the core of divine worship. And the worship flows through integral yoga. Every act you do to promote this intuitive vision, Aham Brahmasmi. Every act, every tiny detail is a form of worship. So your whole life is a stream of worship. During the waking state, I offer him the flowers of all day-to-day activities. See, Vasishtha is telling Rama. He's not saying during the day I spent 6 hours in meditation. But no, he's doing all the details, all day-to-day activities. In storyline, royal priests were very busy doing so many things. And he offered all his works, activities, as flowers, offerings of adoration to God. During sleep, I worship the self by the function of the unconscious mind and understand that even when you are sleeping, your samskaras are based upon your internal vision, Aham Brahmasmi. To put it in a very simple way, your Godward movement expresses in 2 ways. In your waking state, as well as in your dream state. Certain karma that is not mature enough bears its fruit in your dream state. But karma that is mature bears its fruit in your waking state. So that to understand the dream and waking is the same karmic process. One is being experienced because there is a immaturity of karmic development. To give you a simple way to understand, an aspirant practices sadhana. One day he has gone into deep meditation and with big devotion. But during the night, he experiences an accident, a terrible accident. His whole car is wrecked and his body is damaged. And he wakes up and begins to think what has happened. Due to his immature mind, he thinks that because he did the sadhana a particular way, that's why he experienced all that. His guru tells him, no, all that was going to happen in your real life, your sadhana reduced it. If your sadhana was still profound, it will have simply vanished. So whatever you are experiencing in your dream is a part of your purushartha, your self-effort towards God realization. So therefore, if you have developed the vision of all actions being offered to God, then adopt the same vision that all experiences in your dream are being also offered to God. All beings are involved in a world of give and take. But a jnani, though apparently involved, continues to maintain an internal wakefulness. Give and take. That's a predicament of every individual. You are not perfect. And you live in a world where there are times when you are able to give and enjoy giving. And there are times when you need help and you have to take the help from others. Give and take. That predicament continues as long as you are gripped by karma. Your project is not to develop a deep sense of fulfillment because of give and take. Complete fulfillment is in the experience, in the revelation, Aham Brahmasmi. That revelation, that internal, intrinsic reality cannot be enriched, cannot add anything to the glory of Brahman. Nor you can reduce the glory of Brahman in any way. So the Brahman is beyond give and take, addition and reduction, gain and loss. And that is the essential reality in every individual. Now the simple teaching behind it, learn the art of Shama. Go through the world, of course, that's your practical reality. Do everything that is to be done from the practical point of view. But live in such a way that there is an integral movement, integration of your personality. But all the while, a deeper core in your personality, stay serene, understand, no matter how wonderful things may have happened, nothing has happened intrinsically. And no matter how miserable things have happened, nothing has happened. So that nothing should shine in your heart. Nothing exists, nothing belongs to me. I'm neither mind nor body. Immortal self am I. This form of vichar is internal wakefulness. So maintain that vichar. Be awake to your intrinsic reality. He continues to perceive the self as the underlying reality behind all that happens in this world. Even when deprived of wealth and dear relatives, you can avoid being overcome by grief by adopting the sublime vision of divine worship. This is the central message of the Gita. Krishna says to Arjuna, you are grieving over things not worth ashotyana nanva shochastvam. You are grieving for things not worth grieving for. And takes 18 chapters to explain it. And ends up, therefore, ma shucha, don't grieve. We are not a part of this insignificant world. Then why do you allow yourself to be afflicted by it? This is the advanced stage of teaching, for which you need to be qualified under guidance. Sri Rama said, O sage, I have attained freedom from all doubts of the mind, implying I have become free from sanshaya bhavana, asambhavana, viparita bhavana. Sanshaya bhavana is doubting. Each time you hear a big teaching and the mind doesn't completely grasp it. So doubt creates a situation. One day you follow one attitude, another day another attitude. You don't know exactly what was the real teaching. As if you are given the choice between two boats as you are going to cross. But all the time you are not sure which boat is better. And we end up putting one foot in this, one foot in that. And that's a damaging process. That's called sanshaya bhavana. Next is asambhavana, a sense of impossibility. Now become little wise and begin to calculate. So all your mind calculates all the negative you have done. And then you come to the conclusion that yes, I will be able to overcome this, but not in this life. No way. So each time you hear that you should attain enlightenment, it rings the bell in your mind. Not in this life. That asambhavana is treated by manana. The first one is treated by shravana. Listen more and more in a profound way. Your doubting mind will be cured. Now, manana, what you have listened to, assimilate it. As you go on assimilating it, you realize that spiritual movement is not based on karma. If you want to bring light in your house in the darkness, you need to have whole planning of how to lighten up your house by lamps, by torches, by electricity. But in that state, the idea, how can I light up the whole world? That's an impossibility. But when you come to realize, he who lights up is the sun. And all that you need to do is to open your window. So how easy it is just opening the window compared to planning to have so many things to illumine your house. This is something allegorical description. Realization of the self is a spontaneous. It is the ultimate, is the reality. There is no difficulty in realizing the self. All souls are like reflected suns in different jars of water. Every reflected sun is in a difficult predicament. It's impossible for the reflected sun to be perfect. However, when you come to realize, I am this sun, now all the difficulties and problems that you faced as a reflected sun, all of them, all these problems, vexations, stress, they have no meaning as the sun, as it realizes, I am the sun. A reflected sun has gone through countless miseries, but that has nothing to do with the sun. The sun state in you is untouched by your jiva state of experience. So, and the third obstacle is called viparita bhavana. Sanshaya bhavana, asambhavana, viparita bhavana. Viparita bhavana is a perverted vision. And simple illustration I give, you are watching the mirror, and what you are seeing in the mirror is your face. But you are not seeing your face, you are seeing a reflection of the face. You are watching the mirror and someone says, what are you seeing? You're saying, well, maybe I'm seeing my face. But you are lying. You are seeing the mirror, not the face. Figure that out. How subtle difference. You are seeing the mirror. That's your reality. But your mind is not grasping that you are, first and foremost, you are seeing mirror. Next, you are seeing your reflected face. But it turns around. You are seeing the reflected face first. This is called perverted vision. Viparita bhavana. And how does it apply in your personality? First and foremost, the reality of awareness. What you are experiencing, awareness. Now in that awareness, you are experiencing reflections. So, all experiences in three planes, physical, feeling-based, understanding-based, all experiences are a later development. First development, awareness. That awareness expresses in these three ways. But three ways of expressing are reflections in awareness. Awareness doesn't undergo any change. Mirror doesn't undergo any change. Goes on reflecting your face. So that's what Sri Rama said. And this perverted vision is corrected by an nididhyasan. Nididhyasan is a Vedantic way of pointing to samadhi. The Vedantic samadhi is vichar that reaches its highest. Aham Brahmasmi. There is neither ignorance nor jivahood in me, Rama is saying. I do not possess the consciousness of duality and multiplicity have torn the veil of ignorance. There is nothing in this creation which is abiding and enduring, and hence nothing to be desired by me. There is nothing that is inaccessible to me. And the reflected sun realizes, I am the sun. Think of its understanding of fulfillment. All suns, all reflections are included in the revelation, I am the sun. They're included and transcended. So all the dreams of a reflected self, no matter how profound and how extensive the dreams may be, they are all already fulfilled in the real sun. So that type of revelation is brought about by nididhyasana. I have no need to abandon anything, nor do I have the need to reject anything. There is nothing to renounce and nothing to accept. Simple illustration. In your dream, you are doing so many things. There are things to accept, things to abandon. When you go into deep sleep, all that is transcended. Deep sleep experience is bereft of accepting and rejecting. The waking state is similar to dream. And enlightenment is a positive counterpart of deep sleep. And with this I'm going to conclude. Om Ram 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 Ram. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya Ras, grace of God over all of you, with the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukuva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.